Ready, books. Alright, so we're back on the banger of a chapter 1490, titled White Hot Sparring. Okay, jump to this match. Sendo is he's sparring before his world title match with Ricardo Martinez. And he picked Ippo out, they're only sparring for 1 minute. But Sendo is coming in full strength. He never knows how to take sparring easy. Either spars too hard or he cheats, like in the case of Takamura. He comes in heavy. The first penalty is him throwing a right hook at Ippo and knocking him back. He said, Doria! I guess this is his new attack. And Arthur's note says, the day before his world title match, Sendo is burning up and appoints Ippo as his sparring partner. He can't let him get injured. What is Ippo supposed to do? It's Ippo stressing out. Thinks to himself, wow, what the hell was that just now? What did I get myself wrapped up in? Big shout to the Scanelators, Discord Tiny CC, LMGS. Thank you for Ben Block, Papa J, and Papa Rooney. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you all the good folks at H&I Scantrat and Good Sir Scanulations. We see Sendo throw another left hook. Said, what's the matter, Makunoichi? You ain't gonna hit me back. Probably a Karate Kid. Put him in a body bag, Johnny. He throws a left hook. Bang! Knocks Ippo back a little bit. Ippo thinking to himself, there's nothing I can even do. His match is tomorrow. What if I accidentally injure him? Who take responsibility for everything? Sendo yells out, this ain't no different than hitting the sandbag. Throw a punch. And then Miyata thinks to himself, after setting this whole thing up, Miyata thinks to himself, what now? What do you do? And by the way, Miyata's not taking off these sunglasses. I wonder if one of his eyes is bloodshot or black. I'd like to see what it looks like underneath that look. But I do like the bandage look. It's pretty cool. I always like when the main characters get bandaged up and walk around like it. They've been after a battle. I don't know why I've always liked that. Even like with Down to Dragon Balls, even had concussions wrap their heads up. I always thought it was so cool. Like it meant you fought your hardest. Anywho's, go back to Ippo thinking, all I can do is stay quiet and take these hits. So unfair. I thought of Rosario right here. And Funko Hina. And Sendo throws more punches at Ippo. Bah! Kora! Another one. Kora! Ippo thinks, aren't you satisfied yet? Let's end it here. If we keep going like this, I'm actually hit you back out of reflex. I thought about Goroden when Tomba's getting punched. He's like, stop, stop. Before his beast releases. That's what I was thinking about Ippo right here. And mind you, he hurt Vogue, and he said he wasn't sure he could keep him holding back and hurting Mishiba. So Ippo knows his own strength. He's trying to pull back. That's why he was so sad when he slapped Teihei, because he knew he really broke that boy down. Could have killed that man. Sendo thinks, alright, here it comes. Ippo says, what is it? Engine is on full throttle. Ippo was quiet. He said, time to gear up and go. Time to go up a gear. So Ippo thinks, no. And Sendo releases a fury on Ippo. It almost looks like a depth throw. Hooks, uppercuts, overhands, rights, lefts, pounding them out. No, did he? Ippo's been thinking, I've been thinking this for a while, but he really is an idiot. Swoosh! He throws a punch and Ippo dodges it. He runs forward. He says, oh, here he comes. Miyata looks up. And Ippo clutches Sendo, just holds him in place. Miyata surprised. Sendo says, this ain't a date. Don't be hugging me like this. Ippo says, I'm definitely not letting go. I refuse to let go. Miyata thinks. And Sendo says, alright then, I'm chucking you off. He hooks both of Ippo's wrist or his forearms and begins to lift him up. Ippo says, good, and plants his feet down. And Sendo stops. What the fuck is this? It shows him a silhouette of him holding a giant boulder. He says, I can't move, ish. He said, I'm pushing and pulling, but he ain't budging an inch. And that's it. This was kind of a short chapter, you guys. But I did like how it's like one of the things we like about Ippo is that it tells the story. It gives you explanation. It puts the medicine in the candy, basically. It gives you explanations in the story as you're going through it. Like, for instance, like the Miyata and Ippo fight. If you've been paying attention to the story, you would see that how the outcome would have went as the story progressed. Like, you gotta think back to him finding the jolt counter, and then Ippo having the Depsy roll, and then him finding like the step back Depsy roll, which is like the Saramura move, and Ippo making up the new Depsy roll to stop and go. Like, the little things that kind of go at each other, we realize, okay, like if they would have fought, Ippo would have won this time, or maybe Miyata would have won this time, or vice versa. Whereas when I was reading Berserk, just to compare the two again, I'd always see like Guts have such a hard fought battle and have to like really come out on top and really clutch up for the whole team. While it seemed like Griffith, all his apostles were able to slaughter everything on their own, had no trouble. Like, how is he really going to beat Griffith? You know what I mean? Like, how is that possible? But with Miata and Ippo, you kind of see where they would have won at, where they would have lost at. And just saying all that to say this, we've seen throughout the sparring matches Ippo have had and the moves he's been doing, how he fared on the world stage with world contenders. Like, yes, this match, he wasn't throwing punches because he was scared he might actually hurt Sendo. That's why I believe he called him stupid. Like, you don't see him holding back. Like, when have I ever been scary? Like, something must be going on. But I also don't know if he still has the weights on or not. He looks like he doesn't. But also, you see how he's able to look at Sendo's punches and dodge them, move around them, you know? He's able to throw counters now, use his footwork. And you saw how he was ready to grab Sendo as well, you know, get him in the clutch. That was a good move because some people are too prideful to clutch. Some people don't want to do clutch. The clutch is necessary. You can fight off the clutch. You can displace your opponent, turn them around, use your footwork. There's moves you can use off the clutch. And Ippo's putting together a strong move set to prove why and definitely be able to fight at the world level. I don't know if he definitely be able to beat Ricardo, but he can definitely fight at the world level, you know? Because I haven't seen the one thing about Ippo that really sets him apart enough to get Ricardo. But I do think the more matches we see with Ricardo happening, we'll be able to see what that is. Because say it's like fancy footwork or stamina or something. We saw it with Wally, and he just stays in the middle of the center ring anyway. So it doesn't matter which way you go. When it comes down to power, I guess we haven't seen destructive power too much. Because I don't know if Dr. Someone's ever seen to have destructive power. But he definitely had one of the most destructive moves, which was the Horto Break Shorto. One of my favorite moves. But yeah, so I like seeing how Ippo's leveling up. It's showing how he can dodge punches. Sendo is still the high-headed protagonist we all love. You know, just hit him, just hurt him. No real rhyme or reason to him. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to the match. I don't want a repeat of the Alfredo Gonzalez match, which is just like a big slobber knocker. But I do feel like it's going to, in some ways, be that way. I do hope it gets bloody, you know, just for my sick desire to see some real damage done. And we'll see if Encino ends up losing like his left arm or something like Guts did. But I do believe Sendo will have a chance to throw that counter smash here. People might take half the punch or barely of it, but I do think he'll continue to use it and show how it can be used in the actual match. I believe we'll be on a break next week, so the week after that, I do believe kicking up summertime, we're getting right into the match, and it's going to be, hopefully the match rounds up around September. I'm hoping so we get started with the other characters, Hajime and Ippo, but it might go for the full year, like the Rosario fight. Either way, I'm here for it. I'm excited for it. Thank you all so much for watching my channel. Please check that like button, subscribe, tell me how I did in this video, vote on the community page, and hey, happy Easter.
Willie Pep had perhaps the greatest footwork of all time. He masterfully blended his defense and his offense together, sidestepping his opponents as they crashed into the ropes, and skillfully steering them into his punches. His footwork